Hey everybody, this is Chris Pope. A lot of you guys know me as the SpacePope from the guys from Andromeda. I thought it would be a lot of fun to take some time and create a commentary for the SpaceVenture demo that we put out in July of 2013. Just thought it would be some neat content to put out there to you guys. I actually created this little walkthrough that we demonstrated at San Diego Comic-Con as fans were walking up and seeing SpaceVenture. We had this playing, and then we also had SpaceVenture on the iPad working as well, and it was a lot of fun, and everybody seemed to get a really good kick out of it. But I thought, hey, I'd take the video footage and add a commentary to it and see if you guys enjoyed it. So let's take a look. Alright, so here we go. So first thing you'll notice right off the bat is these really cool particle effects that we had with Unity. Mark Crow put that in. Actually, Mark designed the entire intro to this himself, doing all the artwork. He actually did the animation there that you saw. We used a pretty neat little menu plug-in to create the menu here, but it was very basic. We actually wanted to do more with the menu, but we ended up at the last minute having to pull a lot of what we were planning to try and focus more on bugs. Ken Allen obviously did the amazing music that you're hearing there. Really just a fantastic job. I know the first time we heard the theme that he had created, we were just absolutely blown away by how awesome it sounded. I mean, just fantastic job in creating that. But so obviously, we're going to start the demo now. And you'll get this feel of Space Quest 4, some of the artwork that was done in Space Quest 4. It's very Mark Crow, as one would say. And then of course there's a little humor here at the beginning. You can see people abandoning the Nostradamus ship and trying to get the heck out of Dodge for one reason or the other, which you actually won't find out until you actually get to play the full game. But there's a lot of humor involved there as well. And then of course Ace is coming up to the ship. We actually met with Lori and Corey Cole at San Diego Comic-Con, and they were bragging on how all of this looks so three-dimensional, but it's all actually 2D. Everything you've seen so far is two-dimensional. The first 3D related thing you're going to see is Ace popping up here. Notice too, right as Ace walks in, you're going to see a look at another character named Mervyn Spleen, who is the ship's administrator. He'll poke his head out to the left here if you look really closely, just really fast. There he is. But get a close look, because you actually won't see that version of Mervyn. He looks completely different now than he did. I won't spoil it. Eventually we'll probably show you some artwork for him, but Mark rearranged the way we wanted him to look. You get your first look at a puzzle here. We wanted to actually add some demonstration footage of getting people used to the drag and click and drag motions, but we weren't able to get that in quick enough. We actually do have some of that in now, using some little arrows and stuff, but we'll eventually be adding some animations. So right off the bat, we talk to Rooter and have Rooter pop up and actually get a good look at Rooter for the first time here. All right, Ace pushes his crate there. And of course, we're going to push this other crate, and of course, the idea here is to let the player know that they can move things around, and also that they can't get into that door because it needs an ID card. We thought it would be fun to have an instance where you needed the ID card right there at the beginning of the game. And of course we're going to walk over and see what all this smoke is about here. Some little particle effects. Just going to demonstrate Ace getting knocked back and knocked out by the steam, and we at this point we'll use Rooter to bring Ace back to life, which again we know we didn't make that super intuitive when we first came up with it, but we are going to actually try to make things a lot more intuitive in terms of all of that, so people could figure out that you could bring Ace back to life, because we did find out, based on a lot of the bug reports from people, that people weren't quite getting that. Then we're going to take a look at this cart, and this is a nifty little grid puzzle that was created to find the key card, if you will. So just moving things around, and And there's the key card. Kind of makes you feel a little bit like Roger Wilco's there somewhere, right? And then you push the card out of the way, and you'll notice a little vent, and that the vent requires some kind of special bolt in order to get into it. But obviously at this time we don't have anything that can get us into that. So we come back to the dock scene and head back over and see if we can get into that supply closet or janitorial closet, whatever you want to call it, and go from there. Actually, Ken Allen had supplied sound effects for the door, and you can't really hear it because during the first build was too low, but it actually had a little noise that it would make, letting you know that it was access denied, but you can barely hear it in the demo. We should have got the volume up a little louder. This is probably some of the trickiest parts of this entire demo right here. Figuring this out, and part of the reason it's tricky, we admit, is that it wasn't very intuitive for people to know that you're supposed to tell Rooter to go back into toolbox mode and then put Rooter up on the shelf. We have a much more intuitive way to do it in the actual game now than we did before. So you whistle, you bring Rooter back up, and of course Rooter's going to walk over here and have Rooter jump down. Just clicking on some of the things that Rooter can click on there, like the legs of the janitor that you see there. And of course you're going to then use Rooter to activate the forklift, which is going to move almost said Roger Wilco, listen to me. It's going to move Ace out of the way. That was a kind of a buggy part there, you'll notice as well, because we need Ace to move a little further out of the way, but it almost looks like he just magically walks over the top of the forklift. Then we're going to take a look at the workbench here. You don't actually have to necessarily put Rooter back in toolbox mode there, but gonna eat the monolith burger, if you will. Mark obviously did every bit of the artwork for this, including the Wired magazine, which is a lot of fun. And you get a hint of a character named Milo that you're going to get to meet during SpaceVenture. So we kind of added a few hints in there. This right here, this is just absolute brilliant puzzle work that the two guys actually created. I think Mark might have actually designed this particular part, but just the two of them together coming up with just some brilliant puzzle work. I was blown away. You actually don't have to have all the bolts. You really just need one bolt, and it was that one that we got out of the vice grip, but I just demonstrated here being able to get all the different bolts. So we're going to pick Rooter up, which again you could have Rooter follow you, and then we're going to walk out of the room. So needless to say, at this point we've got what we need to get through the vent. We've already discovered we can't get through the steam. We actually have quite a few deaths that can occur that we didn't have time to implement, that I think you guys are going to enjoy. I don't want to be too spoilery. I will say that this is changing as I speak. Actually, things are changing in the demo. So when you actually play the real game, or if we put out another demo, which we're hoping to do, you're going to notice there's going to be quite a bit that's changed. Some of it stayed the same. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I would say. Besides the bugs, more of it has stayed the same than not. And one thing you'll notice in the inventory, you might have saw two heads. That was obviously a huge bug that we finally fixed. But you put the bolt on Rooter's head, and then you use Rooter's head to open up the vent. Another thing that worked that's changed is Rooter kind of bounces around without his head on. He kind of walks around and like he's bumping into things and stuff, and that wasn't implemented in the demo. And then of course you tell Rooter to jump into the vent after you got the vent open. Rooter's going to walk across and open the vent and come out. Hats off to our senior developer Tyler Drinkard here at literally this was one of the last final things that needed to be done for this demo, and it was literally down to the wire, and Tyler was able to get the code done to get this get this working properly. So at that point we switch back to Ace now that the steam is off, and Ace is able to get through into the next room. This room here actually will have a puzzle in it as well that you'll have to get past in order to get across the room, but I don't want to spoil it. But we obviously use the key card to get in. And another amazing room, probably one of my favorite rooms in the whole demo, is the lab. It just looks so cool, and you open up these different specimen tanks and see these little creatures moving around in there. Of course, we do have a little bug there where Ace keeps kind of, it looks like he's high-fiving somebody, and then that's where he kind of realizes, oh crap, something's going on here, and that's where the demo ends. Kind of alludes to what's to come in the rest of this portion of the game. And of course, at this point, you get to hear Ken Allen's really awesome score. It's actually the Cluck Yeager theme, which is a really cool, kind of an ending to this, because a lot of people, when you reach the ending, you get to hear this theme. Of course, we've also put this song out there most recently during our last Kickstarter update, so people have heard it through that now. But a lot of people didn't get to hear this theme because they never made it through all the way through the demo. Not for lack of trying. I know it was kind of buggy, but anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this commentary. Just a quick commentary with me, running through and telling you a little bit about it. And don't worry, there'll be commentaries with Mark and Scott and maybe some of the other team members as well coming your way. But this is just a look at the SpaceVenture demo, the one that was put out in July. So again, thanks so much everybody for checking that out and listening to this, and hope you guys have a good time playing the demo. If you haven't got a chance to play all the way through it, at least now you know how to do it, and we'll hopefully have some more content coming your way. So keep an eye out. Check out guysfromandromeda.com. On Twitter, we're twitter.com/AndromedaGuys, and we're also on Facebook. And feel free to contact me if you'd like to get in touch with me, Chris at guysfromandromeda.com. All right, thanks a lot, everybody.